This is the trigger warning for our show. Please understand that various monsters had various victims and hunted in various ways depending on the folklore, mythology, or stories that were told about them. Please understand that it is not our intent to upset you. You will be given other warnings and additional warnings depending on the episode, but this is our blanket statement. We didn't write the myths, but we are using them to tell our story. Also, this is the content warning for our show. There will be cursing. There will be some interesting ideas. We will take it in where we can, but be warned, there was beer involved.
What if I told you there is a world where not only are monsters like vampires and werewolves real, but they have rights, just like you and me. And in this world, there exists a secret government organization dedicated to keeping you safe and making sure they follow the rules. Welcome to Anarium, a Monster of the Week podcast. And in this first episode of the Anarium podcast, you will join our heroes as they meet their superiors and fight their first monster, and maybe find a new member of the team. All this and more. Please, stay tuned. Grab yourself a drink. Get some popcorn. We know you're going to enjoy this very, very much. I'm going to go ahead and shut up and let you enjoy this podcast. Bye, guys.
We open up and
good.
Oh, good. You in?
Sorry, I was just gonna say that was. I didn't mean to interrupt the mojo. Go.
Good.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. We'll just keep that every episode. That's
Short,
all I
sweet,
wanted
to
to
the
say.
point. To just
I'll
be
cut
like
that out and I'll save it as its own fucking thing.
short, sweet, to the point. Lets them know what's up. I do like the beer cracking. You might want to add that to the end. We were
Yours
like,
was perfect.
there was beer involved.
Yeah, that was the one.
Dude, yours was
that was
perfect.
It worked out good.
I'm glad that we had the
Oh,
idea to
man.
do four.
Yeah,
try
right,
different
to
things,
have it.
But that was still.
And just
the
there,
first one was the one.
there was beer involved.
Yeah.
And then the episode just pauses out for a second and then comes back. All right. Fuck, I never picked a town in Kansas. I got so obsessed with Louisiana, I never picked what fucking town
Lawrence,
we were
Kansas. I just know
you did.
Lawrence.
Yeah, you did.
in. Did I?
Hang on. I had that written
In
down.
my opinion, I don't care if you just say rural Kansas.
Rural Kansas? Because I don't think I ever picked a spot in Kansas on a map.
No, you just said Kansas.
All right.
Just a rural town in Kansas.
Yeah, I don't care if you say just rural Kansas, rural town, whatever.
We open up. Oh, a burp. Jesus Christ. Ugh, sorry about that. Miller Lite. I love it. We open up on a mid-sized town in Kansas. Not a place unlike most likely wherever you're at. Yeah, there are some skyscrapers, and there are just enough people that traffic's always a problem. But in one of these buildings, there's something going on that you probably didn't know about. And if, well, our agents are doing their job right, you are entirely unaware of what is in that building. The top few floors that you see don't look like anything more than your average office building. The people populated in it are dealing with accounting issues, various types of office work that needs to be done for any agency, government or not. It's what's beneath the floors that you see that is what brings you here. This is the Anarium office building. Underneath this building, there are at least 12 different floors of varying sizes. Each floor is designated its own thing, possibly arcana, possibly weaponry, understanding, research, defense. The various floors have different things, whether it be the magic department, monster, research, defense, understanding tactics. The bottom floor is always where the portals are located. That gives the agency 11 attempts to shut it down before it reaches ground level. It hasn't happened, but there are protocols in. Anarium takes what it does very seriously. As we open up, we need to see two characters, our two characters. We have Bernard, and we have Marcellus. Where would your characters be, guys?
I think it will be relatively canon that Bernard, he does not have a home. He is either on the road, what his life is hunting something or interrogating something at the Anarium.
So home is where whatever's screaming to death.
Yeah, so I think right now Bernard is at his pseudo desk. I don't think he has an office. I think he just kind of has a corner, probably somewhere near the armory, that is just like a little metal desk.
They told him he had to have one.
Yeah.
And he was like, fine. Picked it up, moved it
Yeah.
3 floors, and like shoved it against the wall and sat on it and went, this is my desk now.
Yeah, and there are books, because I will say Bernard is not your average country bumpkin. What he dedicates himself to research, and that's what he does with this job. So there are books on the arcane and books on monsters. Some of it's fiction, some of it's what you can find that's not fiction. And I think he's hanging out. He's got a highball glass, and he's hanging out, having himself a drink, and researching, as all good monster hunters do.
Marcellus is in a decently sized glass office on we'll say floor 6, right in the center.
So we're different, you could say.
Yeah, we're different.
Oh no, his characters seem exactly the same.
Yeah.
Accessible and locked away.
So he's in a glass office, accessible to anyone. He has the door that's open. That way people that have any questions, concerns, things like that, can come to him, talk to him, ask anything they need to. If he doesn't know the answer, which he probably does, he can find out the answer and get back to them. That way he's a little more open and involved with everyone that works at the Anarium.
All right. Your day pretty much starts out like average. You're in your, we'll say, designated places. But you get a beep or a text message or maybe even over the loudspeaker that Bernard and Marcellus are to report to the conference room.
God damn it.
As you approach, this is your traditional conference room. There are posters on the wall for motivation. One wall is made entirely out of glass with various shades and covers. This is a government organization, though not entirely recognized by the government. You have your power, but ultimately, one organization is always similar to another. As you step inside, there's a large oak round table. Various chairs sit around it. All you meet is each other in this room. Your boss, the ADA of the Kansas branch of Anarium, is running late.
All right. I think there are chairs around this desk.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I think Bernard plops himself down and he kicks his feet up, crosses his arms, and he is just waiting uber impatiently for whatever this is to walk into the office.
Yeah, Marcellus is just sitting at the conference room desk with a laptop open, typing away, doing emails, etc.
So one of you's doing work and the other's just annoyed to be there?
Right, exactly.
All right.
I was already on a job in my head, and now you're stopping.
That glass of bourbon wasn't going to drink itself, by God.
Yeah.
Hey, man, damn it.
Marcellus has been with the Anarium for 200 years. I mean, he knows.
Yeah.
Who knows what's up?
He knows what's up, so he's just ready and waiting.
Into the room enters a woman. She's probably around 5'8", maybe 5'7". She has olive complexion, very dark hair. Her name is Emily Gorgonis. What you may not know on sight is that this woman comes from an ancient bloodline. Her great, however many needs to be to make the story fit grandmother was Medusa herself. Now, you don't see the runes that have been etched into the glass of her glasses to keep her gaze from turning men to stone. And no, it's not instant, though her grandmother of so many greats once managed to turn an entire kraken into stone in a minute. This woman has come from different bloodlines, but deep down in those genes, there is a woman who was gifted the power to defend herself from attackers, gifted the ability to punish the man that took advantage of her in Athena's temple. This bloodline's still strong, and those powers are still there, but this woman is not covered in scales. The ability to shapeshift and fit in amongst other humans evolved over time. She stands in front of you. Good morning, gentlemen. It's good to see you both in good health.
I think Bernard reaches into his flannel pocket on his jacket and holds up his flask and kind of says, "Morning."
Good God, Bernard, it's not even noon. To each their own. Marcellus, I see you're dutifully at work. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. What's going on? Not every day we get our summons to the conference room.
No, this one is important. It's a bit odd. It's not standard. You see, our friend, your partner Bernard, has been specifically asked for at a small town outside of Louisiana, just north of Ashland. Of course, the town itself isn't that small, but there's a woman there who calls herself Mama Teresa. Should ring a bell for you, Bernard. She's specifically asked for you to come and help her.
I knew she'd ask for Daddy before too long.
I won't ask exactly what that means, but if it's one of your ex-girlfriends, please understand that this is business.
Oh, business is business. So you explain to me, well, what did you pull me away from my important work for?
We have security cameras on your desk. When drinking becomes important, I assure you your Olympic standing will be put into question. However, you will be going there because there have been some deaths in association with a... There have been some deaths with the idea that a local legend is somehow involved, one that we've been aware of but haven't ever really seen anything for. They're a little worried that hunting grounds are becoming larger and the spell might be getting stronger. We think ghosts, but she wouldn't really tell us on the phone. She said she trusted you, not the badge, and that is why you've been requested. Which I am perfectly okay with reaching out to people who may not trust us as an organization, but if they trust our hunters, you can be good to good use. Either way, our mission still gets met.
Oh, that all makes sense. And I point at Marcellus. What's Edward doing here?
Oh, you two haven't been informed. Oh, this is delicious. You two have been made partners, officially. As you both have skills that the other does not, you will be working together for the foreseeable future on a new team that I was originally going to call Whiskey Team, but felt that was a little too on the nose for you, Bernard. You'll be Charlie Team, dispatched as needed for special operations. I have complete faith in you, and my years on Bravo Team has taught me that you two are good at what you do, and I have complete faith in your abilities. Just promise me you won't kill each other. Please.
He calls me a sparkly bitch again, and we're gonna have an issue.
That was brought up in HR. We don't need to cover it again.
It's bourbon, not whiskey, by the way.
All right, Charlie Team. On your way, you're going to cross Route 66. I need you to stop there. One of our usuals. His permit expires here in the next 24 hours. Jonal Brex has a permit that allows him to hunt every 23 years for 23 days. He always likes to forget that different routes are picked across the United States and different time frames tend to work out in order to keep him hidden. He has his permit, he has a right to live, his body rejuvenates at its own pace, he needs the new parts, he just likes to forget where his boundaries are, and I need you two there to make sure he doesn't forget this year. Because if not, he gets to be in prison for his next 23 years and pick the meats that he needs off of corpses that may or may not be fresh. And as much as it bothers me to prevent him from doing what comes naturally, as it's unfair, he has a right to live. I assume you both vaguely understand that. Despite the scowl you're giving me, Bernard, I understand your difficulties in monster lifestyles. I just need to make sure you guys go and keep him in line.
I kind of just fix my jacket hey, I know how to do my job. You sure you can do the same over there, Nosferatu suit?
That was clever. I'll give you that one. Yes, but we're not taking your rusty ass Bronco.
Yes, you will be provided a vehicle with better gas mileage than that. Seeing as last time you took that Bronco, you claimed that a 300-mile journey took you 8. I'm not entirely positive where you went. Bernard, your skill will not get you off the hook every time. Which is why you've been partnered with someone who will keep you, for lack of a better term, honest.
Well, let's just get this shit show on the road, shall we?
That's the spirit we like to see. Marcellus, please keep in mind that though no, you are not team lead, you are co-leads at best. I do expect you to report in as per usual. I don't know if you are aware, Bernard, but reporting in is when you call back to base and let them know what's happened since the last time you spoke to them. And it's generally not, okay, I'll take it, and then, yeah, it's dead, thanks, and then you hang up. I don't particularly like that. If you could work on maybe making a few of those calls for him, it would be appreciated.
I think I just pull a straight piece of beef jerky out of my pocket and give a okay.
She looks at you both. She pulls her glasses down a bit in your view, Bernard. Think of it teasingly. She does know you. She does respect you. She gives you a hard time because she knows you can take it.
Yeah.
Work. But when she pulls those glasses down, there's an odd greenish reflection behind the eyes. You feel your joints begin to stiffen as she winks, puts the glasses back up, and says, "Good luck, Charlie team. Honestly, I wouldn't send you if I didn't think you could handle it. Good luck. Come back in one piece, boys." And she leaves the room. What do you guys do?
I think I look at him and say, that lady always gives me a bit of a stiffy.
Oh my God! You. Okay.
This is
No,
Bernard.
all right.
This is Bernard.
Okay, no, play it, do it. I just was not expecting it. Okay.
I wish people could see your reaction
Oh,
right
yeah,
there,
that
by
was
the way. Just that you turned into yourself. It was beautiful.
Rob was probably waiting for it. He's actually played with me, so he was maybe expecting it.
All right, so you guys be given a vehicle, most likely a sedan of some kind, due to Marcellus's, we'll say, prestige. He is perfectly capable of driving through the day without any of the traditional vampire window
Accoutrements.
Thank you. Great word.
Ooh,
I like
beautiful
that one.
word.
Good word.
It wasn't gonna happen from me.
Right? I'm sitting here and I'm like, how do I say this and not sound
Tinting?
like a fool? The
Tinting,
tinting
it's
on those
tinting.
windows. I couldn't even think of the word tinting. I was completely lost. But no, the traditional accoutrement to allow vampires to travel during the day, as he is special. As you guys make your travel, what kind of conversations do you think you'd be having? Like, we've established you guys aren't buddies, but is there still an animosity there that we should be of a mind of?
I don't think there's much of an animosity, and I kind of joked with you about it, Sam, as you were leaving last night when we were doing our
test run
run-through.
stuff.
I think Taylor and we play very well together.
You do.
I don't think, again, not animosity, but I think there's almost a competitiveness between Bernard and Marcellus, like at least in Bernard's eyes. Like I think Bernard, like he views him.
It's a pissing contest.
Yes. So it's going to be quick quips and things like that. But I don't know that they have much to talk about. I think Bernard would be much more. He's just gonna be listening to music or sleeping, because I imagine we kind of established this is, I guess, you like to drive, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and I think Bernard doesn't get to sleep a lot, so I think he's fine with sleeping while he's on the road.
Can you guys recreate Tommy Boy for me and just flip to the radio? Like, we can change the station if you want. Don't you remember you told me?
Oh wait, I was thinking of a different. Was it
Dude,
Tommy Boy
I'm thinking Black
Tommy
Sheep
Boy.
when the nitrous leaks into the cop car. That's what came into my mind.
See, and in my
immediately.
mind it was your brain's the one with the shell on it.
Bees! Bees!
So I
even
think I'm
stopping.
probably napping for the most part. If there is a conversation, it would be about either work or the type of music that Bernard is into, and this is mostly from Connie, his wife. He prefers classical music.
Okay.
Doesn't like a lot of words.
Okay. I'm all right with that. So no Asia comes on the radio and you guys are busting out together. I never meant to be so bad to you.
Now-
Like screaming out the windows and just
Now,
like
if
enjoying
Bohemian
yourselves.
Rhapsody comes on, that's pretty. There's some operatic classical instruments to that. They might
I got
bust
some
out in
elements,
that one.
common ground there. Yeah.
Yeah, that might. Be
I
some
think he might
common
enjoy
ground
it, but he would never outwardly show it.
No,
Okay.
he internally he's
Yes,
dying
he
like
might be
a
jamming,
child.
but he would never ever let you know that he enjoyed it.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
So I think on this car ride, if there's a conversation,
I think it's probably going over notes
Yes.
about where we're going and what we're doing. Because I feel like since he is more of the research type and Marcellus is more of the planning tactician, I think that is probably what they'll be discussing is back and forth is the plan of attack or the plan of what they need to do, and Bernard is going over, okay, this is what we're looking at, this is what we know about this Jonah Brax, these are his weaknesses, these are his strengths, things like that.
yeah. And I will bring us into a bit of a dialogue here, which will be relatively short-lived because I think we know how it'll go. But what was her name again?
Mama Teresa.
I think
It's
again,
Mother Teresa, dude. Come on.
Oh, no. Very different woman.
No, I'm
very,
kidding.
very different religion here.
Yeah,
I think Bernard kind of digs around in his satchel, and then he gets his peanut butter out. He's kind of looking out the window, and he goes, "So we're clear, Mama Teresa and I. It's not sexual. We work together, and this job, when we get there, I don't know what it is, but I know we can trust her."
I mean, I don't care what kind of personal affairs you have. That's all your business. Doesn't bother me one bit whether you guys knock boots or not. As long as she's trustworthy, I'm good with it.
I think Bernard just kind of says, "Fair enough," and kind of like turns the spoon upside down, kind of gets that last bit off of it, and goes,
For God's sakes, Bernard, can you just put the peanut butter down for 5 minutes?
"I'm a growing boy."
I'm thinking Tommy Boy with the peanuts go right in the dash. That's good for resale.
Let's go kill us a monster. Apologies.
None taken. I think of myself as a monster who hunts monsters.
Same.
As you guys continue on, you will eventually hit Route 66. This is where your path crosses this one. You are aware that Joan Albrecht is in the area. You are aware that he is hunting and tends to hunt at night. If you want, you can stake out a bit of a road. The road here. There's not a lot of homes in the area. This is a highly traveled road. That's a great way to cut across America. However, that means that people go missing here all the time. Some of them are legitimate, some are by human hands, and some monsters with giant wings, gray skin, sharp teeth, and the ability to smell what they want from another person when they're scared, hunt these grounds. And when those people go missing, they get written off as merely another traveler who was traveling cross country and got lost. All of those stories that you hear that never quite get their answer. Some of
That
those
just gave me the
stories,
creepers.
every 23 years, for 23 days, Joan Albrecht's, which if anyone is curious is the body actor who plays the Jeepers Creepers name, shutting down a little bit, just in case anyone was curious where I got that from. He hunts. He has his paperwork. He's been around for a very, very long time. You're going to meet him tonight. How would you like that to play out? Would you like to put groundwork in? Or are you hoping that this is a simple business call where it's just, hey, you left the road. What are you doing? Why? Why would you leave the road? What are you doing?
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much it. If he's left
I
the
think
road,
the business call is probably the best route to go. No pun intended.
Okay.
And you said there was a time limit. How much time was it again that's left?
He has 23 hours, right?
He had about 23 hours from then. You're looking at about midnight of the night you're there.
Right.
Because you're moving quick. Just because it looks like a Ford Focus doesn't mean that it drives like one. We've got a little magic. We've got some things that make things a little better. Maybe less pit stops. Maybe them chairs are a little bit more enchanted to not be uncomfortable for as long as you're going to be in that car. So you guys arrive. Are you just chilling by the side of the road? We hitting a diner? How do you want to play it?
No, I think we chill by the side of the road and smoke a cigarette or two and just kind of wait.
Yeah, I was gonna say in my head we're standing near whatever the boundary is.
Okay, so you've got.
So the blacktop, I assume, is the boundary.
He is supposed to stay on that road. That is where he has to start. Now, with how his hunting pattern has worked so far, as soon as midnight hits, he's done. He has not played this hunting season with time to spare. He has to return back to his base of operations. He will eventually need to sleep, and that is part of his hibernation and hunting pattern. But at the moment, midnight is your cutoff. And as you sit in that car, you smoke your cigarettes, you're waiting for time to pass, you do weird things to a spoon covered in peanut butter, including dipping your jerky into it, which may or may not be delicious. I don't know.
I'm somewhat into that, and I gotta give that a try.
I'm going to have to give that a go. Very, very quickly, night approaches. Nothing's happening. As a little bit more time passes, you guys are kind of wondering if this guy's even going to make it far on the road. I mean, this is where you were told to be. These are the coordinates you were given. Based on his hunting patterns, something should happen here tonight. It's not until about 11:30 that you hear a scream out in the cornfield. Gentlemen, it's time to go to work.
Hey everyone, Cameron here. I know you're like, oh, we just got to the good part. Why are we stopping? Well, for good reason, because you're paying the most attention right now than you probably have all episode, and there's something very important that I wanted to do, and that is bring attention to another tabletop role-playing game podcast. So I'm going to go ahead and shut up and just let this ad play, and just keep in mind that you'll be hearing these as we do the show. And if you do a podcast and you would like it to be spotlighted in this spot, send us an email. All right, I'm going to shut up. Here's the ad. Listen to this podcast.
Welcome to Eberron.
A land we fought so desperately for, now a land torn and scarred by war.
Where our paths can never leave us, but we forge a new path.
Where opportunities are everywhere, for those with the guile to take them.
Where we find a new family while hunting down monsters.
This is the Morning Blues, a D&D 5e actual play game released every other Thursday on Beholder to No One. Join our DM Adam as he runs Virik, Jody, Rem, and Mika through their bounties and exploration.
All right, everybody. Well, you heard him. You know where to find it. And please go show them some love. And, I think we were getting ready to get to a pretty important part. Maybe the first time we're actually going to roll some dice on this podcast, which last time I checked is pretty important to these games. So, yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that ad. You're going to enjoy the podcast more. So go check them out, show them some love, leave them a rating and a review, and let's get back to some monster hunting, shall we?
All right. Let's. So he is allowed in the cornfield, but he has a boundary that starts at Route 66, and I assume goes.
He only gets so much play on either side of the road, roughly a mile.
He only has a mile diameter.
He's not allowed to stray too far,
So
or
a
it
half
stops
mile
being.
radius from Route 66.
Yes.
So okay.
He's only got a little bit of room to play with. Otherwise, it's not they went missing on the highway. It's something happened to them.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. I say we get out of the car, and first thing I say to Bernard is, okay, Emily's not putting us in a Ford Focus again. This thing is small.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, I in my head I meant to say it, but I think Bernard was shifting uncomfortably in this new leather the entire time.
Yeah.
I do not think he...
This unfamiliar territory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I give you guys a Ford Focus and we hate it. I'll remember it. I'll make a note.
I don't think he
I'll
liked
make a
it
note.
at all. So yeah, again, I think he's stepping out, kind of tosses a cigarette out, and I would like to ask Sam.
Mhm.
So we're here, and we know that he's supposed to be somewhere in this area.
Mhm.
What is a role that I could do? Would it be investigate a mystery, or there's something else that's not?
What are you trying to do?
Is there anything? Am I hearing anything? Is there anything out of place?
Be sharp. Yeah.
Besides the female scream.
Did we hear the scream?
You did.
Oh,
He said
okay.
You heard
okay.
a scream. You know what? I'll roll to investigate a mystery.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's see if you get some questions out. Let's see what kind of answers you can get for them.
Hey.
Starting off solid. Better than last game.
Yeah.
It's
So-
nice.
The
So
Toro Island
that's
is brutal. Yeah.
8 plus your sharp, right? What's your sharp at?
Oh, and I did forget to write that on this sheet. I forget which one I picked. I know I picked the one. Sorry, guys.
You had the +0 weird. So your sharp is +0. I remember that.
Yep.
You rolled an 8. That means you get to ask me one question. The book gives you a list. I'm a little bit more open than that. You don't have to stick to that. That also doesn't mean
What was the list again? We'll just...
As far as investigate a mystery, your questions can be something in the ballpark of what happened here, what sort of creature is it, what can it do, what can hurt it, where did it go, what was it going to do, and what is being concealed here.
I feel like we probably know all those answers already just by knowing.
Which is also why,
Yeah.
if you want to ask something that doesn't follow that, I can't promise I'll be able to give you the answer you're looking for, but I can work something out and
So
give
I
you
guess
something.
That's where. So we heard a scream.
Yep.
I guess I would like to know, can I tell which direction this came from exactly?
You can tell that it
South by
came from the right side of the road, and you can tell that it is more than a half a mile away.
So it's coming from the west, and it's outside of the boundary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He strayed a bit.
We need to go. Because he's outside of his boundary limit.
So
And
is this
that's a no-no.
asking too many questions? Is this what's to my right? Is this cornfield?
Yeah, it's cornfield.
Cornfield
He said it's
all around.
Cornfield all around. And so it's to the west if it's on the right side of the road, and we were heading
Now, it is
south,
headed towards you. It is
it's
coming
going this way.
to you.
But it started outside of the...
Traditional
Perimeter.
boundary.
So we can meet him in the middle.
Okay.
Much as I hate going into his territory. But
Right.
I'm less worried than most people.
She
would
is?
be. Yeah, exactly.
I
Less
think
worried than she
I think
is.
I look at Marcellus and I say, "What do you think, Lestat? You up for a hike?"
You know I helped Anne Rice write that book, right?
And I just walk into the corner.
Look, just that look on his face, like somehow that doesn't make this any better.
This isn't a rice field, it's corn. Let's go.
Let's do this.
That's a good one. Yeah, okay. So
yeah.
we just start heading toward the direction of the screen.
As you walk into the cornfield, you can hear the running. If Bernard can't, Marcellus can. And presumably you would inform your partner that, hey, it's coming this way. Yeah. She must be vaguely aware of where the road is. You can hear some flapping noises from up in the air. You can intimate that there's probably something chasing her that scares her, and it's probably your friend? Probably not the right word, but your quarry, maybe. The individual to whom you are here to speak with.
It is our person of interest, for lack of a better term.
Good. Nope, your person of interest.
Can we just imagine some corn coming undone, but coming this way? Just like, wait, I'm coming this way. Just
That ain't bad. Okay.
That's all I'm hearing in my mind's eye. Yeah, my mind's ear.
So you're walking out in this cornfield. All of a sudden, you come to a small opening. Kind of looks like maybe the farmer had something going on here, something got moved, something happened. These stalks are down. And from the other side of the circle, this girl bursts through the corn, and she is screaming. We're looking at a blonde girl wearing long pants, long hooded sweatshirt, probably from a local school. Definite color definition. She's screaming at the top of her lungs. She's looking behind her, and when she sees you two, she sees God on earth. Her saviors are here. The problem is that you're well aware that you're within the half-mile boundary on this side of the road now. Technically, you can't prove that he was outside of it. It's your word against his. He can legally kill this woman. What do you do? Also,
have I seen him yet?
It's about 11:45.
Okay.
Keep it in mind.
How far away are we from the half-mile boundary at this point?
It's pretty close. I mean, it's right on the edge. Exact distances, I can't give you, but it's close. I mean, at where you're at in this circle, it's legal.
Are we close enough that we can get to it quickly?
With him being out in the woods and being aware of what you might be thinking of, probably not. That would be you interfering with his hunting season, and that is paperwork.
Can we see him yet?
Not yet. He has not shown himself, and his ability to see you comes and goes depending on if he's flying. And even if he does see you at this moment, he has no idea who you are.
I think I just raise my shotgun up and I shoot a shot into the air. And I just say, "Freeze, monstrous fucker!"
That's going to make her feel amazing.
This isn't about her right now. I got to talk to this guy.
All right, so he drops. Wings are out. He closes them in. He recognizes at least your authority, if not who you are, by face. He approaches you. What?
How you doing? I assume you have your paperwork.
He reaches into his coat, and he pulls it out. I need you to roll charm.
Okay.
Let's see how you're interacting. Actually, I need you both to, if you would. So let's see how you're interacting with this particular individual.
So, 9 minus 2.
Yeah, minus 2, so 7. Hey, you still got a 7. Still passed. I also got a 9, minus 1, so an 8.
Okay.
All right. He recognizes your authority. He has no idea who you two are, and at the moment, you are getting in his way. He has 15 minutes to get the thing off this young woman that he needs so that he doesn't die or have some minor defect when he awakes from his hibernation. Okay. He is clearly annoyed, but he hands you his paperwork.
Okay, I ask him, you haven't
strayed out of your area, have you?
I mean, it started on the road, but she's the one that chose to go out in the cornfield. I don't have mile markers, and I'm not great with various measurements. Maybe I went outside of it a little bit, but it wasn't really by choice.
Bernard is very slowly flipping through these papers, like, and just kind of, maybe even visibly, like, kind of give a signal to Marcellus, like, yeah, keep, you know. I'm doing my research. I'm looking through this.
Hey Bernard, you Why don't I run that stuff through the database, make sure everything's up to code.
That's a pretty good idea. I think I look up and I say, like, yeah, these old eyes.
Why are you guys hassling me? Route 66 is right there. I've got 12 minutes. Why?
Well,
this is a breaking of my rights.
Braxton,
you're profiling me.
It is not profiling. We received a call that you have gone outside of your area. So now we have to make sure that all of your paperwork is in order before you can complete your hunt.
Could you please move this along?
I will go as fast as our computer system will let us.
This young woman from the ground has fallen over and is covered in mud and whatnot, and looks up and goes, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Are you going to save me? Aren't you going to shoot that? It's a monster."
Hey, monsters got rights too. All right.
Don't. What about my rights? Don't I get something to say?
We'll get to that.
She looks at you, who was originally her savior, and suddenly realizes this night may not turn out the way that she thought it was going to.
Like, all right, you want to run this through the database? Or?
Yeah. Hand me that paperwork. I'm gonna run it through the database and make sure everything's up to code.
I hand it to him. I just kind of throw the shotgun on the shoulder, like, should only take a few minutes.
Marcellus is just gonna pull a tablet out and start typing everything in manually instead of taking a picture of each page like he would normally do.
My name is Chrissy Jones. My mama lives about 4 miles from here. Could you please just let me know that I'm okay? Oh. What's happening here?
That's yet to be seen. You probably should have stayed at your mom's 4 miles away.
You guys ain't heroes, are you?
I wouldn't... it's kind of hard to explain. I don't know about heroes, but we're not villains, if that's what you mean.
I think I get down on it and I'm like, you heard the urban legends, right? What the hell are you doing out here?
Folks go missing on the highway. I mean, yeah, there's stories, but it ain't no goddamn winged demon monster.
Clearly, you're missing the right story.
I think I just look over at the monster and I'm like, yeah, sure. I stand back up and I'm just like, hey, standard procedure. We'll,
I feel like she's like, you make it hard to understand what's happening.
Your logic is dizzying.
Would you guys mind if I just kill her now?
Well,
I mean, it's legal.
Right.
It might be legal. I'll be honest. I was looking through this. To me, this looks like a C-19, and I think you maybe needed a C-23. So we gotta make sure this is the right file.
It was given to me by your office when the trail started in California.
Ooh, California. Well,
oh man, that's a different jurisdiction.
Yeah, that's a different jurisdiction. So we're gonna at least have to find out if.
Why are you guys hassling me? What did I do?
I think at this point we're getting pretty close to.
It's very close to time.
I think
I'm just going to keep him going. I'm just going to say,
well, I want to play the game here, so I would like to manipulate someone, and I want to try to ease his nerves.
Okay, you want to calm him down. Give me a roll.
Okay.
How are you going to calm him? Let's do a dialogue for a minute. Then they can hit the table, and I can tell you what he says next.
I think I just need to go to him and say, hey, I'd love to shoot you in the face. Right?
Very different kind of manipulation that I was expecting. I don't know how this is calming him down.
But I haven't. Right?
Fair.
I'm just trying to do the right thing here. I was called. I was going to go kill some other fucking thing tonight. I don't want to be here. But I'm here. I got a bunch of fucking red tape. So just let me do my job. And we'll leave. And you can eat Sabrina here.
My name is Chrissy Jones, and I don't really want to be here either.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Just let us do our job. And then you got your dinner, bub, and I get to go home.
Give me a roll. I don't know if I like these new dice. I think I liked it better when you failed every time.
Yeah, that was an 11, and that would have been manipulate someone would be a.
Because I believe that is cool. That is your ability.
Charm.
No, charm. It's your ability to talk to people.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I have a -2, but that's still a 9, right? I think I had 11.
Still a 9.
He looks at you. He grabs Chrissy by the hair, but he is no longer in a menacing stance. She screams, which I will not do, because it won't sound great, and it will not help with the mood.
I'll see if I can find one somewhere.
Okay, that works. As he stands and he looks at you and says, "Please, get this done."
Right.
She has a liver that I kind of need, and you have about 3 minutes to decide if I can have it.
How's it going over there, bub?
Almost done. Just waiting on a response from California.
I look at him and I say, see? Almost done.
Do you realize what time it is in California?
Yes, but the offices around the world don't work on U.S. time frames. It's more of a Greenwich Main time.
Could we possibly just make a choice and decide if I get her or not? And then when the paperwork comes through, we'll be okay? Because I know my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed.
Yeah, but here's the issue. If we allow you to do it, and the paperwork comes back as incorrect, then we have to kill you, and we have paperwork that we don't want to do either.
Hey, we don't want to kill anybody.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. We don't want to do it, but if we allow him to do this, and the paperwork comes back as not complete or incorrect or something's missing out of it, then everybody's screwed.
Well, what I was going to say is that I'd like to maim him, like a little.
Oh, you're going that route.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Everybody likes a good fight, right?
The beast looks at you both, throws this girl to the ground by her hair, looks at you angrily and goes, "You guys are assholes." Opens his wings and flies away.
I'm gonna look at Bernard and go, I guess he didn't want his paperwork back. He's screwed 23 years from now.
It'll just take him an extra day or two for it to go through processing.
All right, I get back.
Apparently, he doesn't need all those 23 days to do it.
I get back on one day and I go, "See, Brittany, I told you we had it taken care of."
This woman is on the ground crying her eyes out. She is no longer responding to conversation.
I think I just think to myself, I'm like, we should probably get her out of here.
Yeah, but she's not getting in the car with us. We'll get her an Uber.
An Uber in
We're in
Kansas
the
nowhere.
middle of bumfuck nowhere, and you're gonna call me an Uber? Why can't I ride in the car?
It's really uncomfortable.
A, it's a very small car. B, we're both very large men. And C, it's a government property car, and there's things in there that you can't see.
She starts to walk toward the road and just says, "Assholes."
I start like walking behind her, like we're actually this way.
All right, you guys get back in your car. She finds her way home. She's got a story to tell somebody, and no one's going to believe her. Because Anarium find ways to make stories look a little too big for life. They tend to write scripts, write books, put out movies based on monsters that are real so that when people see things that are parallel to things and stories they've already heard, they sound just a little bit crazier. You continue on, and you finally get into Louisiana. You are headed to the town of Houma in the area of Terrebonne. I am sure I said both of those names wrong, and any Louisiana native that heard them probably cringed, and I apologize.
It probably hurt physically.
It probably hurt them physically. I do apologize. I should have done a little bit more research in the future. I'll make sure to check out some YouTube videos to make sure I'm saying it right. But pronunciation. You are further onto the south side of this town. It is close to the area of Ashland. You are around where Baton Rouge is at. I believe it is to the southwest of where Baton Rouge is, but not by far. There's quite a bit of swampland that exists out here. You have known Mama Teresa for some time. You are aware of where her home is. You are aware that it's probably the nicest home in the area that it's in. She is a hoodoo mama. She has protected these people with her various forms of magics and spellwork. She's made deals with the Loa to keep this area safe. She has earned the title of mama. It is something that she wears with pride and respect. She is not the first in her family line to be a mama. But at the moment, she is very proud of what she has accomplished. You have known her for a very long time. She was one of the people that found you half dead on a street in Louisiana after one of your first encounters with a Rougarou. She's the reason you didn't get infected. She's the reason you're still alive. She often refers to you as a hunter because she trusts you. She knows you. You get the job done. So when she calls for help, you answer.
Yeah, and I think he has a very much respectful relationship for her as well. So we're there, right? We're at her.
You have arrived at her home. It's a very nice home. There's money involved here. She has done very well for herself.
Okay. So you say she's done very well. When we pull up, and I imagine Bernard would know the drill here. Is there someone coming to get our car, or do we just walk up to the door? How well is she's done well?
You would park in the circle drive.
Okay.
It's not a very large circle drive. It is off the main street. She is accessible to the people that may come to her for help. But there is a fence, and there is some concrete. There are, we'll say, seen and unseen defenses for some of the more ignorant people that don't come to her for help, but assume that every negative thing that happens in town is her fault because, well, she believes differently, and that makes her scary.
Okay, I think he steps out of the car and he's, not in a nervous way because there's some attraction there. I think he's just making sure he's presentable and he's walking up to the door.
Respect where respect is due.
Yeah.
Fair. Marcellus, what do you do? This is all new to you.
I'm just going to follow his lead on this one because obviously he knows this Mama Teresa very well, and I'm not going to overstep by any means in a place where I am not known well, I should say.
Yeah.
I am known around here, but not well.
Okay, fair. You go up and you knock on the door. It's a nice door. There's glass in the door. It's rather fancy. You can see in, you can see the entryway, you can see the middle-length hall on the other side. It's familiar to you. There are Guyana masks hanging on the wall from various time frames made by various people. The wood carving masks traditionally associated with certain practices of hoodoo and voodoo. You are met at the door by Mama Teresa herself. Bernard, I'm so glad to see you, boy. I'm glad to see you are still up and about.
I think he throws his arms out. He says, "You miss me, Mama?"
This is a black woman similar to your age. She has the traditional head wrapping, a woman of her stature, a white shawl. She wears a lot of white in an attempt to offset people's negative feelings about the things that she does that are often done to help others. She smiles. Come in. I call for you because I have a job I think only you are capable of finishing. Who is this tall drink of water that you bring to my home? He is new, Bernard. When did you start working with other people?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mandatory thing, but he's not too bad. This here's Marcellus.
Hello, Marcellus. Welcome to my home. I offer you invitation. Please come in.
Thank you, and I accept your invitation and your gracious hospitality.
Come, Bernard. I have bought new furniture since the last time you were here. Fired the servant that used to answer the door. He was far too protective. Far too many people driven away. These two begin to walk away, continuing their conversation. But as Marcellus enters the front hallway, where the masks are all hung, I need you to make a cool roll.
Me?
Yep.
All right.
God damn it.
These dice rock, man.
These, I'm gonna have to not let you guys use this dice anymore.
That is
it's
a
doing
13, which
it's
is
doing
the
far too
maximum
well.
for me.
You succeed. You feel a burst of energy flow over your body. Your attention is immediately drawn to a black mask that stands at the end of this hallway where Bernard and Mama have crossed off to the right. You find yourself standing alone and looking at this, and even though you have no physical desire to defend yourself, you are aware that this mask has just felt you out and is attempting to keep you where you are. Now, you've rolled well enough. What would you do?
Are they still within earshot?
Yes.
Of me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, Mama Teresa, question for you.
She comes back into the room, instantly frowns as you stand in place. Tatuba, what have I told you about disrespecting my guests? Do you think I not recognize a dead man when he walked through my door? Did you not think I did not hear? Did you not hear me when I offered him invitation when it was not necessary? Do you truly believe that I did not know it was a vampire? If you are going to continue to misbehave in my home, I will put you in the attic with the others. I do not care about our family ties. You will show respect to my guests, or I will put you with the other magics that do not fit. Please, Marcellus, come forward. I apologize. Come with me, come. Sit. I do not have a refreshment to offer a man of your kind, but a man of your prestige may still appreciate tea. I can give you that, but I do not have blood available.
That is not a problem for me. I have long since exceeded my need to feed consistently. Long since before that mask existed.
I think I grab my flask and take a drink and say, "Good for you."
Jeez. She looks at you and she's honestly disheartened by what's happened. I am so sorry. Tatuba is of our bloodline. She has been here for a very long time. After her death, her spirit remained, and we made a deal, and she was capable of staying inside of that mask to protect her bloodline. She is merely trying to make sure I stay safe, but sometimes she does not listen to what is happening around her. It was not meant as an insult, and I apologize. This happened in my home.
It is not a problem. If I remember my history correct, that happened in the early 1600s, correct?
Her mask, I am not entirely positive. She came to me in end, and she was asleep for her former owners. But when she came to me, she awoke and she sensed the bloodline, and she tell me that she keep me safe. Some of her memories are lost due to the tragic way in which she died, but she does not have an ability to tell me what that is.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you knew the timeline history of it, but if I remember correctly, when I was here in the 1600s, that was a common practice.
Often, there are masks that have been put to good use for protection from various things. She just seems to not care that I feel safe having a creature, a man of your prestige in my home. She is merely protective. Which brings me to my next point, Bernard. There's something going out in my swamp that I cannot control, and I need your help. You know that officially in the past, I have invited others here as hunters to hunt for me when I cannot handle it myself. Whatever is out there is not the hoodoo that I am used to. My magics have not touched it, but I believe I have some idea. We had the wife and husband duo, the Toyasantes. They came out here last week on Monday. I have not heard from them since, and I cannot have more hunters coming here and dying. Every time I send you on a job, though, you come home. which means I stay in good standing, and despite your best efforts, you always come back so the job will get done. Yes?
Before I answer, I would like to know: is this a name that Bernard would recognize? These hunters?
Most likely. That it
Okay.
would be something. They may not be people that you were friends with. You may not have drank with them.
Okay.
But knowing that these are hunters in the Louisiana area, since you've been working with an Arium, you probably haven't kept your hand on that
Okay.
pulse quite so steadily. But it may ring a bell.
Okay. The reason I ask is I want to know, and I can roll if I
How
need
personal he's gonna get with this.
to. Or just what level of hunters were they? And am I like, okay, maybe they're kind of idiots, and I'm not super worried about it, or like.
Mid-level hunters,
Yeah,
or
these
high-level hunters.
Yeah, if these guys dropped off the map, like this is pretty serious. Like,
I can tell you that, without any roles needed, that these were people who had a name. They
Okay.
were aware in this area as hunters. Some of the local police forces knew kind of who they were. More about when they came around, they knew not to ask questions and let them do their job. You personally didn't know them, but they did have a positive reputation, and Mother Teresa would not have hired them if they didn't.
okay, then I would like to roll to investigate a mystery.
Do so. I'm in. Every time, I swear. Fives,
That's
and
awesome.
sixes, that's all you guys get.
And investigate a mystery would be sharp,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm a +0, so looks like I'm 11.
So it's 11.
An 11 is still 2 questions. What do you got for me? What do you want to know?
Okay, and what were the questions again? I need to get that sheet for myself.
I can hand them to you. There is the investigative mysteries there on the bottom. You're coming, Rob. Don't die on me. You're coming. I expect your
We'll get
rolls to
there,
be
baby.
garbage.
You're good. My buddy's texting me on Facebook. I bet $20 on the fight tonight. I'm about to lose.
And again, those are a
Canelo
guideline.
fight.
The UFC fight. Volkanovski,
yeah.
Brian Ortega.
Since I got a good roll, and this is just, I don't know what everything that she knows. I want to ask what is being concealed here, if anything is being concealed here.
As far as I know, to my knowledge, there's nothing that is being concealed. What is out there, there are legends. The people of this area know where they go and where not to go. What's out there is either bad men or stupid men, but there are no honest people in that area of the swamp. The legend out there is of a man and a woman. She was killed, burned alive, and he went to Papa Legba for his love, and he guided him to Baron Samedi. As the Baron was digging her grave, he looked at him and said, "If you can save her, I will let her come back. For she was a friend of mine. They shared many a cigar and bourbon, a woman much like me, a mama of her time. But the first child born in town without a nose, due to sickness and illness, immediately marked her as someone who had to die, even though all she was doing was trying to help. So they burned her. Her ghost now haunts that bayou. Her husband later died trying to find his love and bring her back to Baron Samedi. Both of them are out here. The male supposedly uses the forest to kill the people that intrude on his zone. The woman is seen carrying a lamp. She walks around. If you get too close, supposedly she takes you away. But I'm not foolish enough to go out there, and nothing I have sent out there has come back. Magic or not."
Well, Ma, I'll do my best.
You always do.
But before I go, I need to know what could hurt it.
It's out there. I don't know. Those hunters went out there loaded for bear. If they're ghosts, you use rock salt, you do magic, you do what you can to keep them away. Cold iron, that is the best guess for ghost. If you want, I can make you something to carry with you. It might keep you a bit more safe against the ghosts, if that is what it is.
Couldn't hurt.
That'd be a good idea for you, Bernard. I'm already dead. They can't take me away. But you are still living.
I will work something together for you, Bernard. One of the grey bags that you know of. Something to keep you safe from the undead, Maybe keep your partner from strangling you at night when you snore? I go take care of the things. You boys be good. You are welcome to anything in my home. Don't leave the first floor. Everything above that is business. You do not belong there and you will be punished accordingly. Thank you. She walks upstairs.
Before
Okay.
she goes, I want to ask her back. Which way to that tea you offered?
Is in the kitchen, she yells from upstairs.
Thank you.
I gotta go, Chris.
Okay.
All right, everyone. I would like to take this time to thank you for listening to the very first episode of Anarium. I would also like to remind you to please go leave us a 5-star review, whether it's on Podchaser or if the podcast platform that you are currently listening on allows you to leave reviews. Telling a friend is super helpful, but also leaving reviews is the main way that we can find a new audience. So thank you so much. And to anyone who is currently listening on a different platform than they're used to, or just on the website, because we're not currently on iTunes yet, stay posted. We will let you know when that gets updated. We're just waiting to hear back from you. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay safe. Enjoy the spooky season.